Today we are going to learn how to clean a pair of Birkenstocks. This is not something I've ever done before, but I did purchase a pair of used Birkenstocks, $15 on Facebook Marketplace. I really do believe in reusing items rather than just buying new, so if I can find something and I think that I can bring them back to life, I'm going to go that route rather than going to the store and buying a new pair. So I did a little research, and for cleaning them today I'm going to be using baking soda. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of water, and then 1/8 tablespoon of Dawn dish soap. I've already got my mixture made. It does want to be a little bit of a paste, so I will re-stir this prior to putting that on the sandals. I also have a Suede brush, a damp washcloth, and then just a paper towel to do some wiping. So first off, we're going to want to open the straps and expose the footbed. This is going to be a challenge doing this one-handed without a tripod. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe off the dirt with just a little bit of damp washcloth, and then I'm going to go in with my solution. So hold tight. Like I said, I'm going to mix that up a little bit more before we get going. We don't want it to be too watery. Everything I have read indicates that you shouldn't oversaturate footbed. Since it is cork, it can ruin the shoe. So I'm just going to get a good lathering on the Suede brush and then get to work. Okay, as you can see, I have done quite a bit of scrubbing on the footbed, and you can see just how dirty these were. To be quite honest, I didn't realize how rough shape they were in when I purchased them. The pictures were a little bit deceiving, so this may need a second cleaning. Not sure quite yet. Okay, so we have our after scrub update. Did go through a number of paper towels to soak up any excess water that was left on the footbed. Definitely have a very dirty washcloth, and our footbeds are still looking dirty, but definitely you can see an improvement on them. The color is returning a little more to its natural state opposed to black. Obviously there are a few days of drying ahead, so things are going to lighten up, and then that Suede brush is going to lighten it up even more. I probably will go in for a second cleaning after they do fully dry, but only time will tell. One thing I do want to note is that these measurements that I found from another video were only enough to make it through one sandal. So you could double up these measurements. I would suggest just doing the 2 tablespoons, the 1 tablespoon, and that dash of Dawn dish soap at a time. My solution did get quite dirty as I went when I was re-dipping my Suede brush, so I would keep each individual shoe separate in terms of making your solution. Okay, on to shoe number 2. So with this one, I'm going to switch things up just a touch. I did add a little more Dawn to this solution this go around just because the last shoe was so filthy. I do need to do a better job of showing you kind of what I was contending with the rinse on this go around. I'm going to just use my Dawn dish soap to hold down those straps this time because that was a problem on the first shoe. I think I can manage with one hand, but let's go at this again. Okay, so I did an initial scrubbing. This go around, I'm just gonna wipe out the excess baking soda solution. That way I'm not just making mud on top of mud. I did that with the other shoe, I just wasn't able to show you. So I will go at this again 1 or 2 times, so I do want to get it nice and cleaned up in between. Okay, so initial reaction. I have worn these around for a little while with some paper towels stuffed in just to dry out everything I could. Definitely a lot cleaner. These are still damp. Like I said, we're not going to see our best results for a few days, but you can see the original texture coming back. Definitely still some dirt. I do think that the sandal that I cleaned with more Dawn dish soap, which is this one, turned out better than the first I tried, but you know, trial and error. You can only do so much. So I will see how these hold up over the next few days, give you updates, and when we get the finished products, you'll see it. Okay, we are at day 3. Birkenstocks have dried completely. I've taken a suede brush to them, so their natural texture has returned. Definitely still some dirt on there. I did say that I thought I would have to go a second round with these, just because of how dirty and then how embedded that dirt was, but I'm pretty happy with how they look, honestly. I'm going to be using these primarily just as walk around shoes in the woods near our RV, so I don't need them perfect, and I'm probably not going to do a second round. If I was going to, I think that they'd be in great shape. One thing to note is that when you are done with your first cleaning, it is still going to be a little bit white, and that's going to be leftover baking soda. Once I used the suede brush on them, their true color did pop out and they got softer. This one has not been brushed out yet. So I used a suede brush and then I just used a soft bristle brush, and it really brought them back to life. So one thing that I did on this Birkenstock opposed to the other was I cleaned where the buckle marks were. You can see on here that where the buckle has been resting for the last few years on the previous owner, we do have some buildup of dirt and oil. I am a different size than the previous owner, so I really didn't want that stripe to be left there. So what I'm going to do, and I started doing right here, was I took a Q-tip that has had a little bit of Dawn put on the end and wet down with some water, and then I just go in and I go directly over the spot I want cleaned. All I did, I let that dry afterwards, and it turns into that.